What's going on, guys? It is the Coaster Battleman here, back at it with another new video, and this time it is my overall thoughts on Volcano The Blast Coaster removal at King's Dominion. And, well, for starters, Volcano The Blast Coaster was built in 1998, and the last time it operated was back in the beginning of 2018, and when I was there, in late May, it was not running, and it didn't run for apparently the whole summer, so there was some speculation and stuff of what would happen. And King's Dominion now has announced that Volcano the Blast Coaster would be unfortunately removed. Yes, it is pretty sad to hear, because this was a huge coaster at King's Dominion. This was one of their best coasters, a top 3 coaster at King's Dominion consistently. And King's Dominion seemed to be in its prime with Twisted Timbers, Volcano the Blast Coaster, and Intimidator 305 all operating, but Volcano broke down sometime probably the end of April of 2018 or beginning of May 2018. And yeah, unfortunately, it was broken down for the whole summer. They needed to order new parts, but King's Dominion has found out that the problems are just too complex to handle, and they're just going to scrap Volcano instead. Volcano is by far one of the greatest defunct coasters of all time now. This was a great coaster, and definitely one people will remember as an amazing attraction, despite it breaking down a lot and having long lines a lot. And yeah, this coaster had some really good launches and stuff, and also had some solid inversions and turns as well throughout the ride. And you went through a mountain, through the artificial mountain on one of the launches, which was really cool. And there were fire effects as well on Volcano, and it was a really unique coaster for King's Dominion. It was, and the world in general, like, it was by far one of the most unique coasters in the world. And, well, what could go there next? That is the big question that I am going to speculate about for the next part of the video. And Volcano the Blast Coaster, I looked on Google Maps, and the land it's on, it's not really the biggest plot of land. I mean, there is some space around Avalanche that they could use as well, and here are the 3 coasters I would like to see here. Well, number 1, I want them to replace this coaster with a launch coaster. Volcano, because the current launch coasters they have that aren't Volcano the Blast Coaster are Flight of Fear, which is inconsistent and not that great, in my opinion, and Backlot Stunt Coaster, which is good, but it's only a family launch coaster, even though it is pretty intense. Shout out to Backlot Stunt Coaster. But they need something big. They need a bigger launch coaster, and in my opinion, they need to get an SNS launch coaster similar to what's coming in 2019 to Six Flags Great America, Max Force, and that thing looks amazing, and depending on if it's reliable or not, can possibly make King's Dominion have a pretty tough decision going with a Mack Rides launch coaster or an SNS launch coaster. And both options look like very good options, because Carowinds' 2019 coaster, Copperhead Strike, looks phenomenal. So does Max Force. Both of them look like great rides, and they have tons of potential to be amazing. You could go with that, and there's also the other B&M options. B&M Wing Coaster would be a pretty cool, unique coaster for King's Dominion. They do not have a winged coaster, so that would be a unique ride, and it would be kind of similar to Dominator because of the inversions kind of aspect and being above the track, but you are actually on the sides of the track. While an invert, you're below the track, like Volcano provided. They could go with the B&M invert, which would be good for that aspect. And, I mean, I think with the Volcano Mountain, I would love to see a launch coaster in that area, there is tons of potential for a new launch coaster replacing Volcano and the artificial mountain being used. I think that'd be really cool. And that is just overall my speculation on what could be added to replace Volcano. And I know B&M Hypercoaster is another one, but it's simply not enough land just based on what I saw on Google Maps. It didn't look like that much land for it. So I'm going to call it off with the B&M Hyper and just specifically say the top 3 options are another launch coaster, a B&M invert, and a B&M wing. But in my opinion, I would love to see the S&S launch coaster or the Mack Rides launch coaster. But R.I.P., rest in peace, Volcano The Blast Coaster, the King's Dominion icon for 20 seasons. Great ride. It was phenomenal. Unfortunately, I didn't get to ride it, but it's going to be very huge in people's hearts and a great memory of King's Dominion and one of their most historic attractions and one of their best of all time. And it's really sad to see it go, but we just have to let time go on and see what happens then. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more videos.